Bonjour, Ireland and Dujnakas, and welcome to this week's video email regarding our week 29 week at a glance. As is the standard, we'll begin in our Google Classroom. This is accessible to students via their Chromebook, or they may use their @segchipschool.net emails to log in on any other device as long as you download Google Classroom. We have the contact information. I've talked about that probably enough. This week's newsletter, a flyer related to the round dance, and then the most recent videos and newsletters, our March breakfast and lunch menu, school calendar, that kind of stuff. We'll talk about those in just a moment. Just as a reminder, segchipschool.net is your one-stop spot to find information for our education department. You can see that Mr. Carmody had posted about the round dance that is Friday night. The flyer that was already sent home with students and will be attached to this email is present there as well. So you could check this out without having to get into your Google Classroom. It's also the spot, as you may notice, that if there are any weather cancellations or delays, you can find it here. If you go all the way to the bottom, apologizing for the scroll, you can download the app. It'll offer push notifications. So if there's a cancellation or delay, you can find out right off the bat. You don't have to wait for it to appear on some media website or radio station. Let's begin by going into let's actually start right with the round dance. That's this Friday night. Doors open at 5:30, pipe ceremony at 6 with the feast following that at 6:30. The round dance itself kicks off at 7:30. There's a student honoring at 8:30. The memorial dance is at 11:30. There's some snacks. It closes at 1 a.m. There are concessions available. You can see some of the invited singers right there. Some of the small print, all youth must be signed in and accompanied by an adult. Please do not just drop your student off at the door and come get them a few hours later. And you can kind of see that all the little details there. You can read that on your own. Going back to the newsletter, we are stressing homework still and being able to get students to be ready for middle school. The last couple of weeks, a little bit less coming back to us. Please check in with your student every day. Ask them if they have any work that needs to be completed. Benefit them and show that we're all working as one unit for their academic success. Tomorrow, we are scheduled to visit Mount Pleasant Middle School. This will be an opportunity for students to see the building, meet our K-12 staff that's assigned to that facility. I know some students will be going to different places other than Mount Pleasant, but it gives you an opportunity for the kids to see it and maybe facilitate conversations at home as well. I know some of you are undecided and students can have some insight here. I've mentioned the round dance, Popcorn Fridays, every Friday. We also have a lot on the agenda for next Wednesday. It is a half day for professional development. Lunch is always served. Students who normally ride the bus to the gym after school should be picked up at SEA at noon. Prior to that in the day, we're making a field trip. We're going to the Broadway Theater for a production of Alice in Wonderland. The production is put on by a family member of one of our staff members here. So most classes will be attending. We'll be departing SEA at 8:30 a.m. Make sure your student is here prior to this time. We don't want them to miss out. The permission slip has been sent home. Oddly enough, it just says your name instead of Mr. Ireland because it was not happy with my office program here on the computer. So I am your name. Some of them have already brought them back to me. Just signed it and gave it right back. This is not a passive permission slip. It must be signed and returned. Sooner the better, and you don't have to worry about it. They do ask for it by March 14th, the day before. We are moving into multiplying and dividing fractions. Language arts, we're still learning about people and places around the world. We're wrapping up our unit in science, doing a little spiraling for the next few days, and then we'll get into that final unit already. Crazy to think that we're that far into the year. You can see our language for this week with Alice in the Wonderland. Figured why not cover, put rabbit there, wabus. And with it being St. Patrick's Day, fresh green leaf was a good word to know. And we'll wrap up with our week at a glance. The standard document. See, we don't have a lot of time for web this week, unfortunately. But we are continuing to make our way through, getting opportunities to earn threes. I'm wrapping up some units ahead of spring break, which begins after week 30. So after school on 3/24. And then we'll be into that last quarter of the year, which is just beyond amazing to me. It seems like yesterday was early August. If you have any questions about any of these things, please email me at mireland@sygchipschool.net or even mireland@sygchip.org. But on the agenda here, I hope everyone has a Minagijigad. As I mentioned, please reach out if you have any questions. If you need another copy of the permission slip, I'm more than happy to send that home with you. Look forward to seeing many of you at the round dance this weekend on Friday night. For Minagijigad, Inwa, Pamapi.